do a little presentation on tag wrangling so that everyone who is part of the tag wrangling family has a way to kind of understand it if you've never done this before. So this is going to look a little different. If you have been given an admin account, you'll notice that you have a green bar, and under that green bar, this is tag wrangling. Now, if you have a regular account, your regular account would be, you'd be logged in to your regular account, and you would click on this menu, and there would be an option, just like you've got, create new work, dashboard, all that kind of thing. All that long menu, at the bottom of the menu will be tag wrangling. So, however you can get there, this is where you want to be. There are fandoms that have to be wrangled, characters, relationships, freeforms, and then unsorted. Generally, don't worry about unsorted tags. When those pop up, I'll take care of those myself. The biggest thing that you need to look at, of course, is the wrangling guidelines. So, the wrangling guidelines tells you different things. We prefer using brackets than parentheses. It just looks better. And this gives you examples, like if you've got two different Merlins that are TV, one of them's 2009, one of them's 1998. So this is how you would put them together. And then Merlin Movie, 1993. Or Queer as Folk US for Queer as Folk UK. So fandom names should technically be at least the fandom name. Like in this case, this is His Girl Friday. It's a classic movie from around the 1930s, 1940s. And as by itself, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, whatever, those fandoms are going to be rather well known. If you have a single named fandom, such as Slash, we'll just make up something called Slash. Sometimes in those instances, we'll need a little bit more information, like in this case, Merlin. There are Merlin movies, there are Merlin TV shows. So Merlin TV, Merlin movie. So if you have a single named fandom, then it might be a good idea to add in additional information afterward. Otherwise, you can just have a fandom as named and be done with it. Characters always have first and last name if possible. Should not put in affectations. President Scrooge, Spaceballs, of course, you don't know Scrooge's first name, so President Scrooge would be appropriate. Relationships, we got romantic, platonic, and queer platonic, so you'll have these different types of relationships. Both of these characters should be in the system, so we should have a Clark Kent Superman and a Rodney McKay character, and this indicates that these two are friends. Anyway, I really encourage you to read these if you have not done so yet. Okay. Going to tag wrangling. So fandoms might be. There's a few things in here, so we're going to look at all these. These all need to be wrangled. So I'm going to pull this one because it's a special. So there might be something, Cherry Blossoms After Winter, a webcomic. This one, more than likely, this doesn't exist. So one of the first things you're going to do, Cherry Blossoms. There's no fandoms that come out of this. So, I'm sorry, there's no fandom already in the system. So, and that's really important that you actually, when you're doing fandoms, that you need to look to make sure that it's not already in there, because there are some people who will automatically just go ahead and add new fandoms, or add a fandom as if it's not in the system, where it's already in the system. And so it's always a good idea to go in and do that. So you can assign fandoms a couple of different ways. This is the main interface, and if you know that this one's a brand new and it doesn't exist in the system, you can come in here and you can click that tag name, so that one is selected. You can click canonical. Canonical means it's searchable, it's not, it's something that the system recognizes. So when I start typing in a fandom name or start typing in a character name, the system will give me suggestions. If I was to add this fandom and not make it canonical, then the problem is somebody would not see it and they would have to add that all over again. So anyway, try and make fandoms canonical. There are exceptions, of course, and like I said, if somebody puts in, like a couple days ago, somebody put in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer exists as a TV show and it's a movie, and so I took theirs. I took their Buffy the Vampire Slayer and I said, hey, this is already in the system, so I filled out how. Alright, so anyway, Cherry Blossoms are winter webcomics. So if I wanted to, I could mark this, and I could mark this canonical, and I can say, I can go to this list, and cartoons, comics, and graphic novels, and I will click Wrangle, and you'll notice that that whole one goes away. The other way to do this, and this one's a good example, is we're just going to go through and modify this. Tower Heroes Roblox. So, Tower Heroes. Okay, Tower Heroes does not exist. But if you look, Roblox is. So, there's a couple of things in here. So, Roblox, here we go, Roblox video game and Roblox right here. So these shouldn't exist as is. So what we're going to do, a couple of different things. There's a couple of Roblox that do exist here. So if you're ever curious, what is this? I'm just using this. I'll just do a lookup. Tower Heroes. So means unique user-generated 3D experiences on Roblox. Roblox are video games. So what I know is this is a video game. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to make it canonical, and I'm going to click here, this unrecognized fandom, any new fandom, anything that's not, any fandom that is not yet been wrangled will show up under uncharacterized. So you have to click this little checkbox in order to remove that, because we're going to make this a video game. Game, streaming game. We're going to click OK and save changes. So when I click that, you'll notice all these other fields show up. The important part is here is Roblox. Two things. Roblox is in parentheses. Don't really like parentheses. I can show up like that. So we can change tags if we need to. If someone put in a tag of Dracula and it was specific to the Dracula book version, then we would actually have to change it to be Dracula, whatever, or Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, or something like that. It's an identifier so that we can make sure that we understand what it is. Tower Heroes, I changed these Roblox here. Now Roblox is a game franchise, and we have a few, but if you look again, our own blog, that's video game. There's a Buttondale game, Regulator, and then Shovel's Green, Roblox, and then we've got this Roblox and that Roblox. So this is kind of important. We have two things to take care of. First off, When you have more than one fandom, and I'm going to give you an example of Harry Potter. So Harry Potter has, what, 7 movies, I think, and, an X number of books. So when you have at least 2 fandoms that are related in some way, so Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie, second Harry Potter movie, first Harry Potter book, second Harry Potter book, those all need some sort of commonality. And in this case, we've got Roblox. Roblox, as we looked in the system, did not have any commonality. Those are, you'll see them over on AO3, you'll see them here on SquidgeWorld. They'll be called all media types, or something to that effect. If Roblox is only a video game series and is never anything else, we could just do a game series set. But what I'd like to do is, because I'm not familiar with Roblox myself, I'm going to create a new one, and we're going to click here, and we're going to call it Roblox all media types. So what I want to do is I want to create that hierarchy so that in the case of Harry Potter, it's called Harry Potter J.K. Rowling, and all of the Harry Potter movies, all the Harry Potter books go under that parent tag. So I'm going to do Roblox all media types. It's canonical. It is a fandom here. If you're going to create tags, you're going to only create fandoms, relationships, characters, additional. You're not going to worry about any of these stuff because this is taken care of by me. This is Walter and band. I have not found how band is used, but we're not going to worry about it. So, fandom. We create this tag, and I need to tell it again. So this is going to be the parent tag. So it's not going to have any parents above it. There are certain instances where they may be, but generally a parent tag has no parents. So the media is going to be here, and we're going to say gaming, and then I can press save, and I'm actually going to go first thing. So I'm going to go back to my Roblox here, and I'm going to say, hey, you know what? This has a parent, and that parent is Roblox. All media types. You can choose that from the list. Save changes. So now Roblox all media types. And if I come back over here and I press refresh, yeah, look, there's Roblox. Now, what I'm going to do also is, because this needs to be done, I'm just going to search for Roblox video game. I'm going to add all of these as subtags. So I'm going to go through, I'll explain all these in a minute. Let's go through all of these. So that's everything except for this one, and this one we're going to do something else with. We don't have to add it here. So we've added all 4 of the children to this parent. Click save. Okay. So when I did that, it created all this in here. That's weird. Anyway, so this is the Roblox tag, and remember we had Roblox and we had Roblox video games. Well, they're the same thing. Occasionally there will be duplicate tags in here, so what you have to do is you have to go into the tag that is the duplicate, and then we're going to say Roblox video game, and we tell it who the real one is. So this is the duplicate, this is the one we want to fold it into, and when we press save, what happens is it becomes non-canonical, and it stays as games, and there's still a meta tag, but everything else that was under here gets moved over to Roblox video game here. So you'll notice that some of these things weren't here before. They are they now were moved from the old Tag, which is Roblox by itself, to Roblox Video Game. So anyway, name and name to use for alphabetical sorting. This is, these should technically be the same, with the exception of if this starts with a the or a or an, then this will say like the Roblox video game, and this would just say Roblox video game. You don't want to sort based on a, an, or the. Synonym, not used unless you have to move it into another tag. Media type, so this is all the medias that you'll find over here, all the fandom types. Meta tag, so this had that meta tag. Characters, if there are characters that are specific, or well, there are characters that are going to be specific to this fandom, you can find them under the character section. Relationship, same thing. Freeforms, now you're gonna, anything that is a generic freeform. So a freeform tag is, of course, you know, like no beta, we die like Mulder, blah blah blah, something like that. And it could be that it's something that is specific to a fandom. So no beta, we die like Mulder. So that would actually be, since it brings up Mulder, and if you don't know, Mulder is from the X-Files. So that tag would be associated with the X-Files. Whereas no beta, we die like AO3 when they got hacked. Well, that's going to be, not hacked, sorry, when they were being attacked. Well, in that case, those are going to be what's known as no fandom tags, and we're going to deal with that later. But anyway, so any tag that's specific to that fandom is going to be attached to that fandom. Subtags, so if there are different tags, Roblox video games, so these two items actually should be under a different fandom. So we're going to have to fix this. And then synonyms, so that Roblox, this is the one that we went ahead and added as a synonym to this. We made it non-grammatical. So. Okay. These numbers update about once an hour. So even though we already took care of a couple of those, these numbers have not updated yet. Danganronpa lapse. So I know that Danganronpa does exist here. So first off, we're going to search for LAPSE. Hey, no suggestions. So that means this is a new fandom. I'm going to click it's canonical. Danganronpa Labs. So I think this is a video game as well, but I'm not 100% sure, so we're going to look it up. Completely English fan game. Okay, so this is a game. And then, because I know that Danganronpa here is already on here, we're not going to go to the synonym, we're going to go down to meta tags. Danganronpa and Fanganronpa, all media types. So, click on that, and now, if I click on Danganronpa and Fanganronpa, all media types, you'll see that it has subtags of the other Danganronpas. So that's kind of the fandom sides of things. Fandoms may have parents if they are related to another fandom. There are instances when there's only one, like one fandom. So we talked about Dukes of Hazzard, and that existed as a standalone fandom in the old archive, and so we just left it as is. Well, back in the early 2000s, there was a Dukes of Hazzard movie, and someone wrote fanfiction for it. So they created a Dukes of Hazzard movie tag. So at that point, that's when we had to create all media types, and we created that Dukes of Hazzard all these new types, and then we put both of those fandoms underneath it as children. So both Dukes of Hazzard fandoms had a parent of Dukes of Hazzard all new type. So that's really what you need to worry about. And by the way, of course, you've got your wrangling tools, wranglers. If you want to assign yourself wranglers, please go ahead and assign yourself to wrangle something. In general, we just really need people just to wrangle. If you only want to do something like clean up our X-Men fandoms, that's fine. Our DCU fandoms, that's fine. But if you want to do us a huge favor and just wrangle for wrangler's sake, you can certainly do that. Searching tags, of course, and then new tags. So anything that is we can control is up here in this blue box. So make tags canonical according to the wrangling guidelines. I already showed you that. With this upgrade that we just did, our wrangling tag is no more AO3, AO2W got rid of the Tag Wrangling main page, which is bizarre, but whatever, and I couldn't figure out how to get it back. Discord channel, so if you clicked on this, it would take you to our Discord channel, where we just do chats and such. Wrangling needs for SquidgeWorld I put it over at SquidgeWorld Wiki. Anybody who has any other suggestions, the wiki is not the best place to do it, but it is what it is. And then, of course, email the archivist. All this stuff, we don't have access to any of this because this is specific to the OT. Okay, so we took care of the fandoms. Characters. So there's going to be a few things, and I want to talk about a couple of these. So if you've never worked with this, you're only familiar with tags from the story interface part. So I'm going to touch a couple different things here. So Suki avatar. So I've already marked this as canonical, and I'm going to go and click here, and I'm going to go search for Suki. And no, there's not a Suki out there. So okay, good. Avatar's there. Yeah. And then the thing. Oops, you don't want that. The nice thing about this is it's going to give you a hint as to who or what fandom this goes to. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, there is a new Avatar: The Last Airbender either movie or TV series coming out sometime in 2024. So we're going to have some new Avatar stuff coming out in the archive. So. But anyway, you're going to assign it to whatever fandom is there. Now, there's a couple different things. If it lists Avatar, Scooby-Doo, and Scrubs, and you don't know if this was just first name, last name, and you didn't know which fandom they would be attached to, I would basically right-click on what I do is I right-click on the fandom character's name, and then I do a search and I do a lookup, and then it'll say, hey, this Suki character is from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, oh, it's not Scooby-Doo, it's not Scrubs. So we're going to attach just that one fandom. If it's multi-fandoms, it's typically not a good idea to put them in multi-fandoms. There is exceptions to that. If you've got some Pokemon stuff, where you've got a character who's in everything, it's sometimes good to either attach them to everything or attach them just to the main all media types. And like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, I mean, Luke's character has been in umpteen different movies and such. So his character is attached to Star Wars all media types, as opposed to one character who was in one movie would be attached to that one movie. All right, so Suki, Last Airbender, save changes. So now this character is wrangled to there. A couple of different things about our other characters. So you see this, it says Aristi is an original character. So we're going to click on edit. We're going to touch this. Aristi is an original character. So, okay, good. There's only one fandom listed here. So we're going to go Clone Wars. And we're going to say Star Wars, the Clone Wars, all media tags. Okay, that's good. And now, for meta tags, this is an original character, and all original characters are attached. So if you find one or not attached, but related. So if you find one original character, it should be related to all other original characters. And the way we do that is we give it a meta tag of original character. There we go. And we've got a bunch of different originals, but like original child character is a child tag of original character. Background original characters are a child, that's a child tag of original characters. So anyway, we're going to do that. So that's how you're going to take care of those. When it comes to tools, so characters, if there's anything else. Mentioned Eva and Sparta. Okay, guess what? That one got marked as a canonical. We never make anything that's mentioned, or if it's a other tags to be other characters to be added. Those are never going to be canonical, so we uncheck that, and then we're going to say Devil May Cry. There we go. If we wanted and we knew who Eva and Sparta were, we could make them parent tags of this. So, if it would let us, no, it won't let us, I believe. So if I'm just going to say, even, I know this isn't the right one, but if this was the child, or if this is the parent to this Eva, we could add it. It may or may not save. Okay, it will not save because this is not a canonical tag. So if it existed as a canonical tag first, you could add it in. So I could do this. And here's my canonical tag. I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to edit again. And I'm going to say Eva. Just pretend that this was there, and we would add it as a canonical tag. Then we can take this away. And it still has this as a canonical tag. So anything for this Eva character, any works that show up would actually end up let me say that again. Any story that has mentioned Eva and Sparta would show up in Eva Wii Sports list of fakes, list of works. So I'm going to take that out though. So anyway, there's those. Let's go look see if there's anything else in here. I would like to. So here's some more mentions, and of course, again, we do prefer brackets. So when you're editing these, you do not have to, but it's really nice if you could. These are all Sailor Moon. Those are all clicked. Those are all yes. Sailor Moon. Alright, there's Sailor Moon right there. And you can click Wrangle. And that wrangled all four of those. Here's two more. Oh, three more. So, there. Just wrangled all those to Sailor Moon. I'm just poking around just to see if I can find anything that is. USS Voyager, usually inanimate objects are not characters, but people get really, really creative, so who knows? I'm not seeing anything that's, okay, test character. Okay, that's not really good. We don't like this. If you click on works, edit, Alright, it's only in a draft. If this was really a character, or if this was a, more characters to be added, something like that, this would not be a character that would be attached to a specific fandom. It would be attached to what's called no fandom. And no fandom is basically kind of the bucket where everything that is not specific to a fandom, so a generic Dracula that is the parent to all other Dracula characters would be attached to no fandom. Other characters to be added, or someone did create a relationship tag of no romantic relationships. Well, that was not canonical, and because it's not fandom specific, we attached it to no fandom. So anyway, this would be a no fandom, and we can leave it like that. So somebody's put in some sort of test. That's not really good. We try not to have people do that, but it is what it is. One last thing I do want to show you for characters. Merlin. So I'm going to look up Merlin. I'm going to look up Merlin as a character, and I'm going to say I want to look at novels. So some of these have, Gwen and Gwen have Merlin in here because Merlin had to be, of course, that's the fandom where they came from. But there's Merlin in Kingsman, Secret Service, Merlin from Arthurian Legend, Merlin from Tales of Acadia, and then Merlin from BBC, of course. So when it comes to this, a character who has commonality, so Merlin is one, King Arthur is one, Satan, any character, or Cinderella, any character that can be used, it's not specific to one fandom, these are all specific to their own fandoms, but we want to kind of group them together, so we use that same concept of parent and child, so we create a character called Merlin character, or Satan character, and then we attach it to the no fandom, and then we attach all of these as these are children of this parent tag. This is going to exist out there for Arthur and Dragon character canonical. So there's a Arthur Pendragon Camelot with a KAA. Here's our parent character because it's got 0. Typically people don't use this. These characters to actually put stories in. Then there's our Arthur Pendragon from Arthurian Legend and Arthur Pendragon from Merlin. So if you look at Arthur Pendragon, there's all of our children. If you know, so in this case, we have Arturia Pendragon from Saber. Well, this is the Spanish way of saying Arthur, so Arturia. And so it's technically the same character as Arthur Pendragon, and apparently they have an alias of Saber. So we added this as a child of Arthur Pendragon character. Other thing you'll see here is Arturia Pendragon Saber. So this pipe symbol means second identity. And that can be, they were called one thing in, like the first book and something else in the second book. Or they have a secret identity, like Bruce Wayne, Batman. Then we create it with a space, pipe symbol space, and then their other identity. If you click on this, and I'm really hoping it does not, let me go find one that does. Let me go Bruce Wayne, character, canonical. So we have Bruce Wayne, Batman, and then you'll see Bruce Wayne here. If I click on this Bruce Wayne, he is he meaning this tag, Bruce Wayne Batman from DC Universe, is the parent. It's the meta tag of Bruce Wayne, character by himself. So there's Bruce Wayne, and then there's Batman. So this way you have three options. If I am writing a story about Bruce Wayne as Batman, I can tag Bruce Wayne Batman. If I'm only writing a story about Bruce Wayne not being Batman, but trying to Bruce Wayne goes to a corporate meeting. Okay, well, you're not going to tag Bruce Wayne Batman in that. You're going to tag Bruce Wayne. And the same thing with, hey, Batman pulled me out of my burning wreckage, and I'm writing fanfic about Bruce Wayne pulling babies from a burning orphanage, blah blah blah. Then I can actually tag just Batman, because if my character doesn't know who Batman is in real life, that they are Bruce Wayne, then I'm going to tag this one Batman character. And, this may have some works out there, I don't know. Yeah, it does. So anyway, just be careful when you are doing any type of fandom that's, you've got multiple, when you have multiple identities. I'm just going to search. So as I search for Adam, so we've got, Adam Holster Burkholz. This is a character from Check Please. Adam Adina. This is a character from Sorority Boys. These Adams have no last name. If there is a last name, then we need to know, and this Adam Voltron can be changed to Adam, whatever Adam's last name is, if we wanted. But if we don't have a last name, then it's Adam, then it's first name, or whatever the name that we know is, and then whatever the family is. Okay. Relationships are going to be a lot like fandoms, except they're actually very, very easy to take care of. So I'm going to just grab one off the top here. Kim Ji-woon and Sun Wheon. You can never wrangle tags on this screen for relationships. You have to wrangle them elsewhere. So click on edit. Here's my pairing. I'm going to click this preemptively because most likely we don't have this tag. And first off, we're going to look to go see if we have one already. Mentioned. No. Okay, good. So it doesn't look like we have this at all. We don't have this this pairing at all. So that's good. So that's when we got our canonicals. And we click on this, and see it's available lists 0 base 1 ZB1 as one fandom and Boys Planet from a TV show from another. But I don't know either of these, so we're just going to put in our characters down here. We're going to pull them from the list. So I put the name in, Kim Ji-woon. There we go. Let's do the same thing again. SEO1, so CO1. There we go. Let's choose CO from the list. The nice thing about this is when I click, I don't have to put anything in the fandoms. When I click save, okay, apparently this character is from one of these two, and this character is from one of these two. So it automatically pulls in the fandoms for us. And that's really all we ever have to do. So that's when you're going to come in to and do a fandom. You're basically going to come in here, edit, check to see if these two, don't see it at all. Okay, that's good. Make it canonical. I'm going to add my characters. First character, second character, save. It is so important that you add characters, and that is because if I'm reading something, if I'm reading a work, And I'm like, you know what, I really like this Ozawa Hakura character. I want to read everything by them. I can click on that and it's going to list everything, you know, all the stories available. Let's do a better one here. I'm going to say, switch tag, I'm going to say, John Shepherd character. Canonical. Alright, so we've got John Shepherd, replicated John Shepherd, Vegas John Shepherd, and alternate John Shepherd. These technically, these should all be, oh, and that one's not. So replicated John Shepherd should be a child of real John Shepherd. I'm glad we fixed it. Anyway, if I read this one replicated John Shepherd story that's out here, you know, I really like this. And I can click on replicated John Shepherd. Well, that's going to show me that, hey, replicated John Shepherd is is a subtag of John Shepherd. So I can click on that, and hey, look, there's a whole bunch of stuff attached to John Shepherd. That works. Boom. So this is going to list all the works that have John Shepherd in it. So it doesn't matter if I want to click on Cameron John Shepherd, if I want to see him with Cameron, if I want to see him with McKay, if I want to see him with Elizabeth Weir. It's just good to basically, you have to attach the relationships that exist, the characters as with the relationship. So John Shepherd and Rodney McKay. It's got John Shepherd, Rodney McKay. This is an @ So @ is a friendship as opposed to John Shepherd / Rodney McKay. And this is a child, so this is John Shepherd, Rodney McKay. And again, it's the same thing, John Shepherd, Rodney McKay, except this is romantic. We also have in this list queer platonics. So you will see queer platonic relationships that have tildes between the two. So if this was a queer platonic relationship, it would look like that. Typically, we're trying to get rid of all these. If we have both names, we're trying to get rid of all those. And so that's why this John Shepherd, Rodney McKay is the parent, is the true one, and we've gotten rid of this John Shepherd, Rodney McKay, Stargate Atlantis. All the stories now will exist under this parent. Okay. Characters, relationships. There will sometimes be, let's see if I can find some. Oh yeah. Look at this. This site has queer platonic relationships. Let's go. I'm going to edit here. This is not a real relationship type. So, and it says it's going to be part of Solitaire and a Heartstopper. Well, this is not a real relationship, so we're not ever going to put in a fandom here. And since this is not a real relationship, and we don't have fandoms, we're just going to say no. It's not attached to either of these fandoms. It's attached to no fandoms. There we go. If you have what we have been doing, and I just have to go and click, and click here just to go and look. I'm sorry, I don't have these. Didn't kind of put together a. I did not put together a list. Look at this. Let's go. Okay, here's your paper. Here we go. Background: Jackson, Healy, Holland, March. Okay, so this tells me there's a couple of things that we're doing a little differently than AO3. If AO3 had this, they would not make this a real tag. They would just attach it. It's not canonical. They would attach it to whatever the Jackson, Healy, Holly, Marsh. They would attach it here, attach in the fandom, attach in the characters and everything. However, AO3's, well, I'm not going to get into that part of it, but we have basically been advised that we need to treat this a little differently, so all other archives and AO3 will catch up to us. These are going to be canonical, so I can say, instead of wrapping this into a Jackson Healy Holland March here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this actually canonical. I added the characters, and now as a meta tag I'm going to mark Jackson Healy Holland March. So now when I click on this, I can go through and find this one and this one both. Oh no, this isn't implied. So there will be a, oh yeah, when it comes back, shoot, it's just good just to update tag filters for index tag. So now whenever this happens, it's implied, so this is built, this is a little bit different. I like to have it like this, implied. So it's whatever the word is, you know, implied, mentioned, background. It needs to be first and then the character name. You take it away from there. We're going to make it canonical. Save. Sometimes you do have to do it in that case, in that order. And we're going to, there we go. So now implied, background, mentioned, those are all true. Background, implied. And when the site reindexes, it's going to put them all together, so that all is together. So you can go and just read the backgrounds, because maybe it's, you know, you want to do doing it this way allows people, hey, you know what, I want to read only where they're the main pairing. And if you've got another pairing and then that is primary in a fic, and this is these people are primary, then you know you can read just those. If you see something that is mentioned and you don't want to do it because mentioned means, you know, that it's only in passing, then those will fall by the wayside. You won't see those in the list of fics. You will not see any of those fics in your list because, you know, you don't want to read it unless they're the main parent. So anyway, this is relationships, how it is. Yeah, so that I did that update, and now it's saying 404 because it doesn't exist anymore, and that's okay because I moved this implied at the very beginning. This will update itself here. Next tag. This will update itself here very, very soon. Okay. I think I got everything with that. Oh, the other last thing that I had in here was we have, alright, here's another one. I do not know if we're going to be able to do this, but we're going to try. What I had been doing for a bunch of these is grab these, make sure it doesn't exist. Nope, it doesn't exist. I'm going to add in the characters. Dante, nice treat. Save. For any queer platonic relationships. Oh. So this is a, sorry, I just got confused. Good job. This is telling me this is a queer platonic relationship, and this is a non-queer platonic. So that means like multiple characters in this. Alright, you can ignore this one. Sorry, just. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'll have to come back and fix that one. When you've got a queer platonic relationship, the last thing you have to do after you assign the fandom, after you assign everything, then last thing you do is let's see, sorry, still trying to find them. I know they're newer, so they don't always exist. This fandom, right, the Super 6, well, whatever this is attached to, red, white, royal, blue, you'd have to figure out you could do one of two things for this tag. You could either just not attach any characters and attach this to red, white, and royal, blue, all media, or you could figure out who the Super 6 are, the characters that make up that set, and if you do, you click canonical, and then you add all the characters, all 6 characters. So in the case of SGA1, the main group of from Stargate Atlantis, that's made up of McKay, Shepard, Ronan, and Taylor. There is a tag called SGA1 Team, and it is canonical and it's attached to all 4 characters. Anyway, if this was if I had a queer platonic here, and this was pretend, if this was a queer platonic relationship, then in meta tags, what I've been doing is queer platonic relationship type. I've been giving it that so that some people just want to read, one certain type of thing. So they could technically, if they did that, if this existed, we could attach it, and then queer platonic relationship. If I look at works, I have all of these works that exist. So for this one right here, here's the tag that exists, that was created, because they're first names only or single names only. You've got the fandom here. Then tags, here's your 2 characters, and then a meta of queer platonic relationship. We're doing these just with queer platonics right now. Somebody also created another one called the same thing, but without the fandom, and because we don't allow that, you can't have a single name. You should not have a single name. Of course, there's going to be exceptions, like Yoda. Everybody knows who Yoda is. Yoda, I don't think, has to have a single name. Can have a single name. But anyway, you would have both characters, and then you have the queer platonic relationship just for this. Just for QPRs, that's all. Not for friendship, not for any other fans. Okay, freeforms. I know this is long, I'm sorry. Freeforms are going to be, are a little bit interesting. Poke Shift AU. Okay, great. So somebody wrote an AU type of Poke Shift. Well, we don't really have anything called Poke Shift. Alright, so that's okay. So, it's not in duplicate. AUs are going to be different. They're going to be, they have to be done a certain way. And the way does not look like this. The way you create an AU, I could modify this if I wanted to, but here, reverse, Poke Shift, is that what it was? Yeah, Poke Shift. I'll click again, click here, this is an additional tag. And then Poke Shift, well, this is Pokemon, so I can actually attach this to Pokemon Special. But because this possibly could be used elsewhere, you really need to create this under the no fandom. It could technically, I mean, maybe we turn Lorne from Stargate Atlantis into some sort of Pokemon thing. Well, technically we could use this, so we're going to attach this to no fandom. So that exists. And then I'm going to go back to my Poke Shift. I'm going to say, you know what? That's how it really should look. Right there. And then we're going to go back to PowerShift. Close this one. And we go back over here. The other thing that you do with, and this is for alternate universe tags, but also it can be for some identifier type tags. We also do add the whole thing, so a meta tag of alternate universe, and there. So if I click here, if I click on the alternate universe, look at these. These are all the alternate universes that exist. Subtags. Undertale, 1930s, 1960s, Angels, Assassins, and Hitmen. These are all, well, if I click canonical, these are all of the tags where they exist. So all these exist as subtags to alternate universe. That way, you know, I want to read all Stargate Atlantis stories where it's based on alternate universe. I could actually go through and filter alternate universe and Stargate Atlantis and find every single Stargate Atlantis fic that was attached to Stargate, an alternate universe of some kind. You know, there may be 10 stories with neighbors, and 2 of them with mental institution, and 17 of them with military. So they're all connected, so it's easier to find. When we get back into free forms, so episode 602, Crash and Learn. All right, well, anything that is specific very specific to a fandom. So the title of the episode. So in this case, episode Crash and Learn. So I made it canonical. I didn't mean to put that one. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to attach it to 911. There we go. So I just attached this specifically to 911. However, not all tags are going to be attached to everyone. Usually somewhere out here. Inappropriate romantic love. So, 1 second. So, inappropriate romantic love. That can be used just about anywhere. The thing is, this is not really something that's common. So I'm not going to make this canonical. But what I can do is I can say, no fandom. And I'm just going to attach it there. Now, all of these, character confuses lust and love. Same thing. Lustful marriage. Same thing. Fairy tale traits. Tragic heroine point of view. Karjitsu. Lab time. None of these really exist for... None of these really exist. Will exist only in one fandom. So, I'm going to grab all of these, and I'm going to map them to no fandom. Here we go. I'm going to stop here because Black Mask, Okamura, that is certainly some kind of fandom. So I'm going to put those there. Now, there may be things out here. Okay, researcher, who knows? This is a character, so I'm going to skip it. He's quirky. You'll see why. Make my own thing. Also, intended it after the video game. Nope, not. Reference to Labyrinth. Well, no. Canon typical drinking. Hey, you know what? That sounds familiar. I'm going to look at that one. But right now, I'm going to not write any of these canonical. Do them. Canon typical drinking. Let's search for drinking. Drinking. Talking, cooking. Alright, well, guess what? Canon typical drinking doesn't exist, but it probably should. So, this is going to be a little different. Canon typical drinking, because our canonical tag really should be in caps. It is an additional tag. I'm going to make it canonical. This says it's for the Check Please fandom, but kind of because it was typical drinking, that can happen in, I mean, Columbo drank. The kids in Check Please drink. You know, they're drinking in The Princess Bride. So this could be anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to no fandom. I'm ignoring this, and even after I save, it's going to say, hey, it needs to belong here. Well, you know what? It's in no fandom. If a tag exists in no fandom, that means it's available for every fandom, if that makes sense. So, typical drinking attached to no fandom, it is primary. I'm sorry, it is canonical. The other things that you need to pay attention to are, if you've got a, here we go, good example, trans the Jindong, how do we pronounce that, sorry. This is, do we have a one like this already? Nope, we don't. So, we're going to make this a canonical. We're going to say it's attached to Tien Bao. A-O. There we go. And we're going to click Save Changes. And there are, and this is in the notes, the Wrangling guidelines. Trans characters, asexual characters, bisexual characters, homosexual characters, queer characters, anything that is queer, you know, like the sexual identity space character name, and it needs to be a full character name, not Queer John. You would have to be Queer John Shepherd. Queer John is not canonical, and it would not be attached to anything. But Queer John Shepherd would be canonical, and it would be attached to Stargate Atlantis. And then, what we would do, in this case trans, we say trans male character, trans female character, so just trans character. I am not sure what gender Li Jinlong is, so I'm just going to say trans character. And trans male character and trans female character are tags that exist under the parent of trans character, so they're all related anyway. So I've got my trans character there. So now, when somebody creates a trans character, it's going to exist there's to be a meta tag. So if I click that, and I click all subtags, trans Ardent, blah blah blah, trans Bruno, blah blah blah. So these are, if I want to go through and read just some fixed with trans characters in them, I can click on this, find my trans character, works, and then look, here's all my trans characters. As long as they're tagged right. So people need to, of course, do that. Right, like what else is there in there? I don't think there's really anything else. Eddie Diaz has feelings. Well, guess what? That's Eddie Diaz is going to be a 911 TV. I'm not gonna make that as a canonical tag because it shouldn't be canonical. But and then in this case, so trans, this would work the same. So this would become a canonical tag with a trans character meta tag. Typically, if you have situation character, so unhappy John Shepherd, sex cam worker Hong Jun, these will typically become canonical. So it's got to be situation space character. You've got, this looks like it, so John Winchester makes bad decisions. Well, that's not really something that should be canonical. So we're just going to tuck that away in Supernatural. And so he's gone away. But sex cam worker, okay, monster fucker, we can talk about that one. But sick Baronazoro? Well, if it is situation character, then it does become canonical, and it goes to whatever One Piece manga. There we go. It does become canonical. Anything else? Incest is Wincest. Well, that's going to be connected over just to another. Wincest is going to be connected to supernatural. Trans. So here's the one, but they did trans with a lowercase t. Well, trans. Here, and we're going to say here. F-U-Y. There we go. Alright, to save. Save. And then we're going to say trans character. Okay. That should be sort of tags. So people create bookmarks and they create their own tags. Well, absolute tag. Okay, that's going to be a regular tag, but you know, you could have, typically almost all of these are going to become a category type of freeform. But like I said, you don't have to deal with any, you shouldn't really deal with any of these. We'll take care of these. But it comes down to, again, make sure when you're wrangling a tag, make sure that it does exist. It doesn't exist yet. Make it canonical. If it's new fandom, it becomes canonical. No matter what, always becomes canonical. If it needs it, you can give it a parent category that equates it with other fandoms. So our Clone Wars, and we go to fandom Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars. Well, that's currently a TV, and it's got a meta tag of Star Wars all media tags. So these are all the subtags of Star Wars. This Ahsoka, or whatever it is a TV show that's on right now, and that is a Star Wars all media tag. You know, that has that as a parent, so you can go and read all those. I think that's just about everything. Miles being a creep, non-canonical, that's going to be specific to a fandom. Whereas crushing on best friend, it'll be non-canonical, and it'll be attached to no fandom. Trying to find a good item here. Let's see. If we have platonic. This is a good example. Typically, anything that is one word or very descriptive is going to be a canonical tag. Platonic. So we've got relationships, cuddling, soulmates, female, male, blah, 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 blah. So, platonic it won't really fit in any of the other things, so we're going to make it there, and we're going to make it in no fandom. So now, this tag of platonic is addable to any fandom, not just Buffy. Because I tagged it to no fandom, it's going to be attached. It'll be available for all fandoms. I think that's just about it. You can always hit me up over on whatchamacallit if you have questions over on Discord, or you can always go down to technical support and feedback, and that will take you over to our technical support help desk. So you fill in what your question is, your name, your email address, general support, or DMC abuse or whatever, and then whatever your question is, and then send us off, and then we'll go. I think that's just about everything. If you come up with any questions, like I said, don't hesitate to ask. We are always here. Thank you.